If you're training to do these things that we categorize as difficult, and you're learning to make these movements clean and technical and elegant and connected, then yeah, you're going to be upset when somebody doesn't do half the things that you do, but has a story that's compelling, and you're like, what? Well, I mean, that wins.
Well,
Like,
it's the full product.
but again, it's not the full product, because you are practicing the elements that have won in previous years, right? The lifts, the connectedness, the slow movements, the fast, the variation, these kind of things.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, you're like, but they just did a story, but so they win? We're talking about the essence of what we believe tango de pista, or dancing tango in a small social space, should be.
So, like, that's what I get. Like, if you practice technique and you rehearse technique, and you do it the way that you practice rehearse it, but then someone says that's bad because it's too rehearsed or it's too polished or too whatever it is.
No, because again, it's trying to recreate the social element. And so if you're taking up a lot of space, you're doing these crazy heroes, taking these things. It used to be like you couldn't even lift your legs. You had to keep your legs on the floor. You couldn't do any kind of baleos or ganchos that are too high. Of course, we've went away from that kind of strict standard. But it used to be that way.
Yeah.
And now it's like you could just do literally whatever.
But like, I don't think that's any reason to like knock on. Like, we're not doing that. You're not doing it. But like some of the comments that are out there, like it's like, why knock on people who won, who performed and did exactly what was allowed in the rule set?
I think the ultimate worry is not the competition itself. I think what other people are worried about is how it funnels and translates to the social scene.
Okay.
Right. So people that are sparring and they look at Mundial and they revere these kind of dancers, and they like, oh, I want to be more like that. Then they start to like replicate and take things like, I guess I got to dance more like this.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why people are more on the offensive in this case.
Okay.
Mundial 2025 was one for the record or the books, because I actually found Mundial this year to be very interesting to watch. I was super excited, especially for the Tango de Pista category. Now, I must admit, I really didn't watch Encenario this year. I was so focused on Tango de Pista. And for me, I thought that Mundial, it was just a great year, just the enthusiasm, the storylines, just following the couples that are going through the extra round that they had this year, the quarterfinals, the addition of that. I just thought, yeah, there was a lot of attention, or it felt like a lot of buzz on Mundial this year, 2025.
Well, that's cool. Like, I only caught like the highlights, so I didn't know there was an extra round about with the quarterfinals. I did see a lot more of the Escenario, and I thought Escenario this year was definitely very interesting for the few clips I did see.
Yeah, I mean, I only know what people have told me. It's probably best for me to actually go look at it, but I heard there was a lot more like avant-garde kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just very more modern, very different from either the past traditions of what we would think as the Encenario category. But again, I only watched 2 performances. One was with Guillermo Cernaez, and I forgot his partner because I just know Guillermo. The hilarious comical one. I thought that was very bold, and we've seen comedic performances on Mundial before, and I thought they just they got a standing ovation. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and then I saw the other one that I saw. Actually was what turned out to be the winners, right? Because everyone kept saying, "Oh, Derek, have you seen the one with where she's wearing this mask thing?" And so I watched that one, and so I only watched 2 performances, and the one of the 2 that I watched was the champions.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really good, but I know Guillermo got a standing ovation and there's a lot of buzz on it through Facebook, but honestly, that one kind of rubbed me the wrong way, to be honest with you.
Why?
It's just kind of like, I understand the comedy, and like it's I felt like it was a bit offensive.
Offensive?
Yeah, I felt it was a bit. I mean, comedy.
We've had comedic performances all the time before. Fabian Peralta
Yeah.
and Virginia Pandolfi did one.
Yeah.
And Mundial.
I like, to me, that one just made it seem more like they were mocking the other competitors and the work they put into a scenario.
No.
Well, I saw it that way. you know. So I was just like, oh man, you know, you're gonna go up on world championships and just like crap on people. Like that's what you want to do, you know.
I totally did not take it that way. I saw it more of like, all right, I mean, this is a break from the traditional seriousness of it, and that, you know, tango can be fun, and, you know, we don't have to take things all so seriously.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, actually. I really did.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, different strokes, you know. It's just, I wasn't a fan, and I'm probably one of the few people who will admittedly say like I wasn't a fan, you know.
Well, it's interesting that I think most of the buzz happened during the semifinals part, leading up to the finals, and then I feel like after the finals happened, now we have all this discussion and talk about, oh, should they be the winners? Were they deserving? And it's always, I mean, I guess you kind of hear that all the time, but this one feels like it's more ramped up.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is because of the implications of it, of like the future of tango, where it's going. SNR, for example, I mean, I view this as very similar when Ugo won in
With the balloon. And
yeah,
the cage.
because you know it was, I loved it, and I love it because it's just, that's the type of scenario that I appreciate. Like I see, like for me, there's like stage tango, and then there's like theater tango, and I gravitate more towards the theater tango, and I know a lot of people will look at that and just go, oh, well, you know, there's a whole bunch of gimmicks, you know, it's a balloon, like it's, you know, they don't show enough of the dancing. I've heard a lot of that kind of critique, but then at the same time, when, you know, one of my personal heroes, Jorge Torres, would just, you know, just do this massive sidestep and just have so much stage presence in like one movement, then like, to me, that's the quality of theater tango that I appreciate. And even though he can do it without a balloon or like a masked woman, I just think that, yeah, for me, I just really appreciate what I consider theater tango, and I want to see more of that. So that's kind of why I totally support the current scenario winners, and because I want to see tango move, like scenario tango, move in that direction.
It's tough for me because I can see the balanced way of this, looking at it. If I'm someone that's been training for a specific framework in mind, meaning that we look at, you know, Incenario winners in the past, and maybe like the routines and the choreography and the mastery of trying to do these things to the music, and, you know, show things with your partner. I can understand why some people will be turned off with that, because it's like, okay, did you just win because your dance was like elegant, together, connected, musical, and the choreography was difficult and you made it look easy? Or did you win because you did something that's just a gimmick, as you said? And so I can see why some people were turned off with the winners, right?
Yeah.
Because what does the message send? It says whoever pulls out the biggest gimmick is going to win something, when it should be more about a mastery of movement.
Yeah, well, I get your point there, but I also think that, because I align more with theater tango, that I want to see more storyline, you know, and generally it's when people do stories in their stage tango, it's usually the same old, like, you know, jilted lovers, star-crossed lovers, or boy meets girl kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So I really love to see them push things out of the box. The other thing that...
No, but back to your story thing. So you're pretty much saying the one with the best story wins?
No,
I don't agree with that.
I'm saying it's like, I'd like to see it more. I'd like to see it push in that direction, because...
No, but then that's where it goes, right? Whoever tells the best story wins, and that's again...
That's part of it, because of course, like if you have a good story, but it's poorly executed, of course it's not going to win. You know, if someone has crap movements and they don't look good when they're turning, of course they're not going to win.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is that I kind of see this very similar to ice skating, where ice skating now has been more about like difficulties of move, who can do a quad jump with, like, you know, how many spins and everything. And I think for me that kind of becomes more of an athletic endeavor rather than an artistic endeavor. So that's kind of why I want to like, and I see that happening more with stage tango, in previous years. So that's why I'm biased towards this push towards more of a storyline, and yeah, I know people won't agree with me, and that's fine. That's just my position.
Yeah, because again, if you're training to do these things that we categorize as difficult, and you're learning to make these movements clean and technical and elegant and connected, then yeah, you're going to be upset when somebody doesn't do half the things that you do, but has a story that's compelling, and you're like, what? Well, I mean, that wins.
Well, it's the full product.
But again, it's not the full product, because you are practicing the elements that have won in previous years, right? The lifts, the connectedness, the slow movements, the fast, the variation, these kind of things.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, you're like, but they just did a story, but so they win?
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
Well, that's fine.
Because again, it's not like the Oscars or something. We're not looking at the best picture here. We're looking at the execution of movement. It's a dance.
Well, yeah, but but the whole thing is it's stage tango.
Yes.
Where does stage tango take place?
Yeah, but all of it's on the stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but if you think about generally, if it's on the stage, what are you doing? You're trying to compel people to like something.
Right, but again, a story is not technical. It doesn't have a thing of like execution.
Actually, I disagree there. I think,
no, a story. I mean, if you're talking about a story, you're taking the dance out of it. A story is simply the narration, the effect of creation of characters, the creation of tension, these kind of things.
Yeah.
Sure, there's technical skills in that, but there is no dance movement in that. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, so I'm saying that's part of the package, because you can't.
Right, but what I'm saying is that part of the package was heavily favored. It's not just like some small part.
Okay, but then if you look at other, let's say, I'm trying to remember who was that Mundial winner from. I think it was like maybe 8 years ago. Melissa Sachi, and I don't remember her partner's name.
They didn't win stage. They
won salon.
Yeah.
But the criticism of them was that they only did basic movements.
Well, that was salon, and that's Tango de Pista.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. Is like, if everyone's trained to be very technical, very advanced,
and the technicality is in the basic movements. It's not easy to do the basic movements elegantly and technical.
No, but I'm just saying, people are going to focus on something that, it's. They just, what I'm saying is that I'm bringing it up as a comparison, because there's a lot of complaints about them.
You're making it seem like that those movements that you're saying simple are easy, and I'm saying those simple movements are not easy.
No, I'm saying that they won with doing a lot less than other people.
Sure, absolutely.
So
it's Tango de Pista.
So, why can't that be the case for Escenario?
Because Escenario is two different categories.
No, but you could have someone who won with doing a lot less.
But it's Escenario. It's still totally different. You're pretty much saying the qualifications that you win in Tango Salon or Tango de Pista is the same as Tango Escenario. It's not.
Okay, how about this? You take let's say gymnastics, right? They have a difficulty score, and there's a difficulty multiplier. So you can do something very, very difficult, and it might not score. You might have a lower score than someone who did something more simple. But ultimately, it's anybody's game based on the difficulty multiplier.
Right. So with your example, there is no multiplier like that. They should have been deduced down because they didn't do the things that these other couples did. So based on what you just said, the couples that didn't have the crazy story but had the other things should have scored higher because of the multiplier you just said.
Yeah, but that's based on the jury.
No, but again, you just said some parameters that this thing here is judged by this kind of thing. The level of difficulty makes a difference, and now you're just contradicting yourself.
No, I'm saying that in that setting, you could there is a multiplier, but you can still have someone do something more simple and they can still win. You're saying that someone else is more technical. They're doing more difficult things.
Right, so there is a multiplier.
And then, but you can't just base it just because they're doing something more difficult that they should automatically win.
Right, but what you're saying is that there is no multiplier pretty much in this scenario.
Well, there is no. Well, that's up to the jury, and maybe it's bad scoring, and maybe the jury should think about that and go, oh hey, these people did something a lot more difficult. I should grade them a little bit differently. But I'm saying that it's okay to do something more simple, and they focus on something else that was to me, storyline is still part of the package. And you're saying the storyline shouldn't even be part of the package.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that in this case, storyline has been a huge part of the package.
Yeah, but you're saying like, but here you said that, you know, they did everything on the story, and it is totally favored, and it shouldn't be part of the package.
No, I'm not saying it shouldn't be. I'm saying that it's heavily favored in this case.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but what if okay, so if a person has a good story, why should that not be part of a scenario?
I'm not saying it shouldn't be part of it.
Okay, so what's wrong with them winning?
I didn't say there's anything wrong with them winning. What I'm saying is that when we're looking at it, and you're saying that you like the storyline, that's fine. You can like the story. I like the story too.
But you're saying it's not part of the dance.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is that when we're looking at a competition that's evaluating based on your technical skill, based on what can you do that other people cannot. That is what a competition is.
Well, wouldn't acting be part of that?
Yes, but it's a dance. It's not an acting competition.
To me, it's still a stage. It's part of it.
It's a part of it, but again, it shouldn't be the main part of it. Again, this is what we're getting at.
Well, who said that? Well, why are you saying that?
Because you just said that they won because of that. What they did.
I didn't say they won because of that. I said I favor that because I want to see more of that. I'm biased towards it.
Right, and I'm saying that the dance should be the more important thing, not the acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree on that.
That's fine. To the salon thing, the other side, it's amazing because I really love Diego and Aldana, and I know that they come from Forever Tango, and they're longtime teachers, and they're very well respected. They travel, they even teach some of the competitors, and it looks great for them to win. But it's interesting that there are some people that are out there just saying like what they dance again now is more.
Exhibition style?
Yeah, not exactly social dance, which is, I guess, the spirit of Tango de Pista. It's supposed to be more of a social form, and I guess them winning is more of a thing against that. And so that's interesting.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I might have agreed with that before, but now that because I've been doing more.
You're so biased towards stage.
Yeah,
right? Everything's stage.
No, I am. But the thing is, I dance that way socially also.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like, okay, so should I just like if I want to compete, should I just excuse myself from salon because I practice choreography over and over again?
No, but I mean, what I'm saying is that the essence, I think, of Tango de Pista is to replicate or try to replicate the social form dancing on a stage.
Yeah, but if I dance that way socially, see, that's what I mean. It's like, so if I dance the way, like right now, I dance almost the same as I do at a milonga as I do on stage.
Again, and that's wrong for Tango de Pista. You can't be like, I'm doing Tango de Pista and doing all these lifts because that's what I do. I do my stage thing.
I didn't say I was doing
right,
lifts.
But what I'm saying, it's the same thing. What you're saying is like, I do my stage thing in a Tango de Pista kind of concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if I do a stage thing too and I start doing lifts? I'm like, this is how I dance socially.
Well.
And so again, that goes with your logic and does not go with the form of what Tango de Pista should be now.
Okay, but like saying like this, the issue is like choreography, or like what I like the criticism I've been seeing is it's too choreographed, it's too rehearsed, that it's a departure of social tango.
Yeah, the true improvisation, being with your partner in the moment with the music, that's kind of the spirit of Tango de Pista. And sure, people will argue that Tango de Pista is just the kind of a more relaxed form of stage, maybe in a certain way, because people obviously practice certain sequences over and over and over again, and they kind of just execute those things in Tango de Pista. I totally get that, and I actually totally agree with that in certain ways. But at its core, Tango de Pista should be improvisation to the music. That's why they pick different kinds of music. That's why they try to pick music that's maybe unfamiliar sometimes or not as popular.
Okay, but let's just say, you just land on a lucky song that you rehearse quite often to.
Right. I mean, again, the tango music is 4x4, so it doesn't really matter. You can still execute your patterns to whatever music.
Yeah, But like, so I like, if you rehearse certain skills, technical skills, like how's that different from rehearsing patterns?
It's not. It's the same. Yeah.
So what are we talking about here?
We're talking about the essence of what we believe tango de pista or dancing tango in a small social space should be.
So like that's why I get it. Like if you practice technique and you rehearse technique, and you do it the way that that you practice rehearse it, but then someone says that's bad because it's too rehearsed or it's too polished or too whatever it is.
No, because again, it's trying to recreate the social element. And so if you're taking up a lot of space, you're doing these crazy heroes, taking these things. It used to be like you couldn't even lift your legs. You had to keep your legs on the floor. You couldn't do any kind of baleos or ganchos that are too high. Of course, we've went away from that kind of strict standard. But it used to be that way.
Yeah.
And now it's like you could just do literally whatever. And so that's what people have a problem with.
So is it the problem of the winners or the problem of the set of rules?
I mean, maybe both, right? I mean, maybe the rules are too lax and maybe people have been taking advantage of those rules. And like I said, I love Diego and Aldana. I totally thought they were deserving winners. I was rooting for them. I feel like it's great to see a couple that have been doing this for so long, dedicated, and finally climbing the top of the mountain. I love that. I'm just saying what other people are saying about what it might suggest.
Yeah, and so it's suggesting that people. Like I say, it suggests that people are going to start dancing bigger and in the milonga and like there won't be enough space, or what?
No, I'm talking that the competition starts to trend towards that. It's like if you were to take a sporting event, it's like all of a sudden everyone's shooting 3-pointers in basketball because the team that won shot like 50 3-pointers in the game, and so now every team's copying them by shooting 50 3-pointers in the game.
Okay. So if I guess then it's up to like whoever's running the competition to really like look at make the rules to revise the rules so that people actually understand what's allowed, what's not allowed. If it's too loose, then like if the rules are too lax, like we can't blame them from playing within the rules.
Yeah, I think it's because they relaxed a bit of the rules. I'm gonna guess that people kind of thought that they made it tango too sterile, like it's like everything looks the same, like there's no personality, there's no character behind it, and so that's why maybe they made some changes to the rules. So maybe
now's the point where they're going, oh hey, we went too far, now we got to go like turn back. We need to lay down the law a bit.
Maybe.
I mean that's the case, but like I don't think that's any reason to like knock on like we're not doing that, you're not doing it, but like some of the comments that are out there, like it's like why knock on people who won, who performed and did exactly what was allowed in the rule set, and that's kind of where I have the problem with that. Like in jiu-jitsu, for example, there is one league where you're allowed to slam people, and there's another league where you get disqualified for slamming people.
Yeah.
And so it's like if you want to slam people, go to that league. If you don't want to slam people, go to this league.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be slammed, go to that league. But like the rule sets are there for specific reasons and for specific gameplay. Just like judo and jiu-jitsu are the same, are ultimately the same, but there's different rule sets which favors specific skill sets.
I think the ultimate worry is not the competition itself. I think what other people are worried about is how it funnels and translates to the social scene.
Okay.
Right. So people that are sparring and they look at Mundial and they revere these kind of dancers and they like, oh, I want to be more like that. Then they start to like replicate and take things like, I guess I got to dance more like this.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why people are more on the offensive in this case.
Okay. And so yeah, I can see that point, but then I guess the question more of is, I always feel that like people have always felt that way about the Mundial winners.
Sure, yes.
It's always like, oh, that's not real social dancing. Competition dancing is not the same.
And salons is all athletic, all these athletic movements. It should be about the embrace and these kind of things.
So I guess the question is like, what really is the tipping point here? If it's always been this way in terms of people not agreeing with, just dogging on competition winners, what's so different about it now that's got everyone up in the uproar?
Well, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I thought Diego and Aldana were just like the overwhelming crowd favorite. I mean, if you watch the live feed, the crowd erupted when they called their names out, and I think a lot of people were obviously, because you've seen them for so many years, that you just kind of root for them. So it was kind of interesting to see a lot of the reactions towards their win. But I know a lot of people who have known them, knowing that they come from the stage, and knowing that it's like, I don't know what it might be. Who knows, right? So yeah, it's very interesting. I think after every competition winner, there is always going to be a discussion of, do they deserve it? Who got robbed? Is it politics? I think in any competition, especially in tango, that's going to happen no matter what.
All right. So let's just play this down. Let's just play this down a bit, which is what I want to get to is, where do you think, like, how this will impact tango for tomorrow? Like, what do you like? How do you see this like Diego winning, Diego and Alana winning? How do you think that will impact? Yeah. How do you think it will impact like how we teach tango? What's expected on the floor, and is that a good or bad thing?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say. Because there's a lot of people that don't care about Mundial. There's a lot of people that, I even heard from some people that, Mundial was a lot lower this year in attendance.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't even at Luna Park.
Yeah. I'll also see people making complaints about like how this year was a lot weaker than the previous years, and like the dancers aren't as good. Which
people always kind of make things like that, but I don't know. It's tough to say.
Yeah, but yeah, like, I mean, do you think that people are now going to dance more in an exhibitionist way now because of this? I mean, every time a Mundial winner runs through town, it's always the same classes. It's always like, hey, more dynamics, more, how to be fast, how to be bigger. So I've never seen, okay, maybe not never, but it's rare that I see a Mundial winner come through town and be like, hey, this is how you dance in a small space. Like, I've seen that from other teachers, but I don't recall ever having a dance in a small space type of class from a Mundial winner. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I really don't recall that.
I've seen it, compact turns and these kind of things. I've seen it.
But from a Mundial winner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I don't recall that.
I mean, I've seen it from, Sebastian and Maria. I've seen it from, I don't know. I mean, obviously, like Sebastian, Achaval. These guys were all Mundial winners. You just probably forgot, or,
I didn't take that class.
Or you just didn't take the class. But yeah, these, so yeah, it's there. But I get what you're saying. If you're part of the package, you want to sell something that's more flashy.
Yeah.
It's just flashy sells. We already know this.
So I see it as like little to no impact on the community.
Maybe. I mean, only time will tell. Right?
I mean, yeah. Well, maybe.
Definitely not for our community. Already tries to be flashy anyway, so it doesn't. We don't need encouragement in that direction.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. Like, every time I see stage class, it's pretty low attendance compared to and like that's because to me like that's if
that's specifically stage. But if you have some people that are traveling in, I don't know, like
Boleos,
Boleos, yeah.
Yeah, you got a point there. But yeah, I mean, I'm for it. I want to see. Honestly, I would rather see people practice more in an exhibitionist style, because I think the technical requirements is a lot higher. So I would like to see more of that, and I'm all for it.
Only time will tell to see the impact of this. Who knows? But it is an interesting discussion, and I think there are a lot of interesting balanced viewpoints out there. But either way, I take nothing away from either side here. I salute the people that won. I know how difficult it is to win a tournament or a competition, and I know how difficult it is to get to the finals and go out there and put your heart and soul out there and be judged by other people. Obviously not on that level, but on a smaller level. But to either way, kudos to both couples. I think it's it's very inspiring. I think it's to be a champion is it's a great honor, and so I think these two deserved it. Honestly, like I think you can knock the things that they did. You can look at some of the criticisms behind how they did it, but at the end of the day, are they champions? And then maybe 5 years from now, you're going to remember all these things? Probably not. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, they're champions, and that can't be taken away.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Left Foot, Right Foot.
We appreciate your support, and make sure you click that subscribe button and that like button. It really helps with the algorithm, and also you receive all our latest updates. Thank you.